Silence speaks a language the narcissist understands with visceral clarity, communicating truths that words could never convey with such devastating precision. When someone chooses absolute silence after years of explanation, justification, and emotional labor, they transmit a message that penetrates the narcissist's carefully constructed defenses. Their opinion no longer matters, their presence no longer registers, and their entire existence has become psychologically irrelevant. This wordless communication carries more weight than any confrontation or angry departure ever could because it demonstrates complete emotional detachment rather than suppressed engagement. The narcissist receives this message not intellectually, but as a gut-level recognition that they've lost all access to someone's inner world. The death of their psychological relevance. Silence announces to the narcissist that they no longer occupy mental or emotional real estate in someone who once organized their entire existence around earning approval and avoiding disapproval. Every unanswered message, every ignored provocation, and every neutral response to manufactured drama reinforces the same unbearable truth. They have become background noise in someone else's life. This realization strikes at the narcissist's core because their entire identity depends on maintaining psychological significance. The narcissist understands that silence differs fundamentally from the cold shoulder or stonewalling tactics they've weaponized countless times. Those manipulations carried the electric charge of suppressed emotion, signaling continued investment beneath the surface. Authentic silence, however, radiates genuine indifference, the emotional equivalent of empty space where obsessive concern once resided. This void terrifies them because it confirms they've become forgettable rather than unforgettable. Silence communicates that their victim has moved beyond anger, past hurt, and through the processing of trauma into a state of complete neutrality where the narcissist simply doesn't matter anymore. This progression represents the narcissist's worst nightmare because they'd rather be hated with passion than regarded with mild disinterest. Hatred acknowledges their impact. Silence erases their significance entirely. The invalidation of their narrative control. Throughout the relationship, the narcissist maintained power through their ability to define reality, control narratives, and force their victim into endless cycles of defending, explaining, and justifying. Silence dismantles this power structure completely by refusing to participate in their distorted reality. Every non-response tells the narcissist that their version of events, their accusations, and their provocations exist in a vacuum that no longer includes their former victim's attention. This refusal to engage strips the narcissist of their most essential tool, the ability to create chaos and then position themselves as reasonable while their victim appears emotional and unstable. Silence denies them the reactions they need to maintain this dynamic, leaving them arguing with themselves while their victim remains unmoved and unreachable. The narcissist discovers that all their carefully crafted manipulations fall flat without an audience to receive them. Silence also communicates that their victim has stopped seeking closure, validation, or acknowledgement from them. This withdrawal of need represents a fundamental power shift because the narcissist relied heavily on their victim's desire for resolution, explanation, or genuine apology. When someone stops wanting anything from them, the narcissist loses all leverage and finds themselves suddenly powerless to influence that person's emotional state. The finality of complete disengagement. Unlike temporary distance or conditional boundaries that the narcissist learned to navigate and erode, silence communicates absolute finality. It tells them that no amount of love bombing will reopen closed doors, no manufactured emergency will summon their former victim back, and no performance of vulnerability will generate the caring response they once could reliably provoke. This permanence creates profound anxiety because the narcissist recognizes they're facing something they cannot manipulate their way around. Silence announces that their victim has completed their emotional processing independently, without needing the narcissist's participation, permission, or acknowledgement. This self-sufficient healing demonstrates that the narcissist was never as psychologically indispensable as they believed, shattering their carefully maintained illusion of being irreplaceable in others' lives. The narcissist understands through silence that they're receiving exactly what they gave throughout the relationship: emotional unavailability, refusal to engage authentically, and complete absence of genuine reciprocity. This mirroring forces them to experience the isolation and frustration they inflicted on others, though they lack the self-awareness to recognize the poetic justice in this reversal. Ultimately, silence tells the narcissist the one truth they cannot tolerate. They have been weighed, measured, and found so lacking in value that they no longer warrant even the energy required for words. They have become nothing, not a villain deserving confrontation, not a lost love worth mourning, but simply an irrelevant chapter in someone else's journey toward peace and authentic connection.